everyone, we are from Group Germany. Today we will be discussing about the economic factors in Germany. Myself, Tanusha Shankar, will be giving a brief introduction about Germany. Germany is a home for more than 83 million people. It has fourth biggest nominal gross domestic product (GDP) in the world. It is also have largest economy in the Europe, third largest economy in the world after US and China. Germany's economic power emphasizes on competence in engineering and manufacturing. It is also well known for top-notch automotive sector for BMW, Mercedes-Benz and Volkswagen, which are setting standard for innovation, sustainability and quality. Moreover, innovation and research are factors that supporting Germany's economic power. Development in science, engineering and technology fosters a creation of high-value goods and services which boosting an economic expansion in Germany. Germany's status as a major participation in the world economy is further cemented by the fact it is a founding member of European Union and actively shapes the European Union's policies and activities. In summary, Germany determining the future of Europe and the globe as the global leader in technology, engineering and trade.
Hi, I'm Kir. So now I'll be explaining you guys about economic growth during 2020. When Germany went into lockdown, it affected a bunch of industries like manufacturing, tourism, and retail. They had to close down or reduce their operation. Next, how they recovered. Luckily, Germany had a strong foundation in industry like manufacturing, so they were able to bounce back faster than expected. So next, government support. The government stepped in to help business and jobs. They gave out money through stimulus plans, grants, and even tax breaks. This support saved a lot of businesses from going under. Next, digitalization. During the pandemic, there was a big push for using technology. Businesses started to using more digital tools and coming up with new ideas. This helped them adapt and find new ways of doing things. Next, export resilience. Even though there were some challenges with trade, Germany's exports stayed strong. They were still able to sell their products to other countries and keep their economy going. Thank you. So next, I'll be explaining you guys about economic growth during Palestine and Israel war. Impact on global trade. When conflicts arise in the Middle East, it can mess up the routes that goods take all around the world. This means that Germany's exports and trade relationship can be affected too. Energy market dynamics. Those Middle East conflicts can also mess with the oil markets. This affects Germany's energy security, which means they might have to find alternative sources. It's even more important because Germany is really focused on using renewable energy. Next, geopolitical tension. When there's a lot of tension between countries, it can make people and businesses more hesitant to spend money or invest. So during times of conflict, businesses might become more cautious and careful with their decisions. Next, refugee crisis. Germany has been dealing with a lot of refugees, especially from the Syrian war. This has social and economic effects. The government has to spend a lot of money on things like social services and programs to help integrate the refugees into society. Next, will be diplomatic relations. Germany's position on international issues and how they handle their relationship with other countries can have a big impact on their trade agreements and economic partnership. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kyra and I'm going to continue this explanation on unemployment during pandemic and war. So for the first one, unemployment during pandemic. Before the pandemic, Germany have low unemployment rate compared to other European countries. In 2019, the unemployment rate in Germany was only 3.1%, that considered quite low and reflective of a strong labor market. This was part of a trend that has been ongoing for several years, with Germany often cited as an example of successful labor market policies and economic stability within the European Union. So we can see how Germany doing with their unemployment before the pandemic by 3 points, which is low unemployment rate, strong economic growth, and labor market reform. So for the first one, low unemployment rate, as mentioned earlier, Germany had a low unemployment rate hovering around 3 to 4% in the years leading up to the pandemic. This was significantly lower than the Eurozone average during the same period. For the second one, strong economic growth, Germany was one of the leading economies in the Europe with a robust manufacturing sector, strong export, and as well as developed the services industry. This economic strength contribute to job creation and reduce unemployment. For the last one, labor market reform. Earlier in the 2000s, Germany implemented labor market reform known as Hartz reform, which is they aim to increase labor market flexibility, reduce unemployment, benefit dependency, and encourage workforce participation. The reform were credited with improving Germany unemployment situation during that time. As we can see on the graph, it showed that on 2019, the unemployment rate was only 5%, which quite low. After the pandemic, particularly in 2020, Germany saw a sharp increase in unemployment as a businesses, especially in sector like retail, hospitality and tourism. They faced a closure due to lockdown and restriction. The graph above show a historic economic downturn with a real GDP contracting by 5.9% in the second quarter of 2020, following a previous decline of 0.9% in the first quarter that is affected by the pandemic. The pandemic also led to shift in unemployment patterns with an increasing focus on remote work, digitalization, and change in consumer behavior. Some sectors such as e-commerce, technology, and healthcare experience grow and increased demand for workers, while others continue to face challenge. So, how did the German government overcome this issue? As we can see on the slide, the German government overcome this issue by STW, short-time works, Corona Soforti Life, and investment in job training and reskilling. For the first one, short-time work, STW as a short form, or Germany call it Kurzarbeit, is a Germany program which allow company to reduce working hours for employee instead of laying them off completely. Under this scheme, the government compensate a significant portion of lost wages for workers on reducing hours. This helped to prevent widespread job losses and provided stability to both businesses and the co-workers during the economy downturn. For the next one, Corona Emergency Program, or Germany government call it Corona Soforti Life, where the German government provided financial support and incentive to business that affected by the pandemic. This assistance helped companies stay afloat, retain their employee, and avoid mass layoff to sustain their operation until economic condition is improved. And lastly, investment in job training and reskilling. Germany invests in job training and reskilling program to help workers adapt to changing market demands. This helps them to acquire new skills and qualification to improve their employability in industry that were less impacted by the pandemic. Overall, Germany's comprehensive approach to addressing unemployment during the pandemic helped to mitigate the impact of the labor market and support business and workers through the challenging period of economic uncertainty. So for the next slide, unemployment in Germany during war. the specific impact of the Palestine and Israel war conflict on Germany economy and its approach to overcoming unemployment will largely depend on the indirect effect of the conflict, such as change in global economic conditions, trade disruption, and geopolitical tension. However, Germany might employ various strategies to address unemployment during such challenging time like this war. Firstly, the diversification of trade partnership. So, Germany might put effort to diversify its trade partnership and reduce reliance on regions directly affected by the conflict by expanding trade with other countries and regions less impacted by the conflict. Germany can mitigate the negative economic and safeguard their employment. Next, strengthening domestic economy. To make sure Germany contract potential economy shock from the conflict, Germany might prioritize measures to strengthen its domestic economy by involve increased investment in infrastructure projects, job creation programs, and incentive for domestic industry to stimulate economic growth and employment opportunity. Moreover, supported for affected industry. Germany will help those who are affected by the disruption in trade or even geopolitical instability, such as export-oriented businesses or those dependent on imports from the conflict-affected regions might receive target support from the German government, such as financial assistance, tax incentive, or even subsidy. This could help their industry to navigate challenge and sustain employment level. And lastly, to maintain stability and promoting long-term economic prosperity, Germany, as one of the members in international community, might engage in diplomatic effort to promote peace and stability in the region. Contributing to this war, they're gonna aim to resolving the Palestine and Israel war conflict that can help to reduce tension and create a conducive environment for economic growth and job creation. Overall, Germany will likely adopt a combination of domestic economic policy, international trade strategy, and diplomatic initiative to overcome unemployment during period of conflict, such as the Palestine and Israel war. The goal will be to minimize the impact of the external disruption on the economy, preserve unemployment, and promote sustainable economic development. That's all for me. Thank you.
My name is Aswarya. I'm going to continue this presentation with analysis and discussion about inflation. So before the COVID-19 pandemic, Germany experienced relatively low and stable inflation rates, generally in line with the European Central Bank's target of keeping inflation close to but below 2%. The exact figures varied over time due to the economic conditions, but Germany's inflation rate typically remained moderate compared to the historical standard. During the pandemic, however, the inflation dynamic shifted due to the unprecedented shock to the economy. Initially, they were concerned about deflationary pressures as demand plummeted in certain sectors, leading to the lower prices. However, as supply chain disruption emerged and production costs increased, especially in sectors like healthcare and food, inflationary pressure began to build. These measures caused rapid shift in consumer spending habits, with notable increases in certain sectors, such as home-related expenditures, and decrease in other like tourism and hospitality. However, official inflation data struggle to keep pace with these changes, leading to the quantifiable bias in inflation. The specific difference in inflation rate before and after the pandemic will depend on the exact time frame chosen for comparison, like we compare from 2013 until 2022. Generally, during the pandemic, inflation rate may have been more volatile and influenced by unique factors such as shift in consumer behavior, government intervention, and global supply chain disruption. In Germany's case, during Palestine and Israel war, inflation rate surged dramatically, reaching hyperinflation level during the aftermath of the war.
This period was characterized by severe economic disruption, loss of production capacity, and massive government expenditure on war efforts. From the graph, we can see that from 2013 until 2019, the percentage of inflation rate are lower than 2%. But after the pandemic in 2020, the inflation rate increased. The inflation rate increased due to the pandemic and lockdown. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, so for the government action for pandemic is the German government has taken a multifaceted approach to tackle the challenge posed by the global pandemic. First one is a public health measure. Germany has prioritized rigorous testing and contact tracing to identify and isolate cases promptly. This proactive approach has helped the curbing the spread of the virus. Additionally, adherence to social distancing guidelines and hygiene protocol has been emphasized through the pandemic, with adjustments made based on the evolving situation. This measure underscored the government's commitment to containing the virus and protecting public health. Okay, so second one is vaccination campaign. Germany vaccination program has been efficient with a focus on securing vaccine supplies and ensuring widespread distribution. So the high rate of vaccine uptake have contributed to achieving substantial immunity within the population. This has played a crucial role in reducing the severity of illness, hospitalization, and fatalities. So the vaccination campaign is highlighted as a cornerstone of Germany pandemic response. The third one is economic support. So swift implementation of comprehensive stimulus package has been crucial in supporting business and individuals affected by lockdown and restriction. So financial aids, including grant and loan, has been provided to business facing closures or reduced operation. Employment and to support machine and expanding social welfare program have helped to mitigate the economic impact on workers and vulnerable the population. For the fourth is positive outcome. So Germany approach has yielded a positive result with relatively lower mortality rates compared to some other European nations. So the combination of effective public health measure, a successful vaccination campaign, and substantial economic support has helped cushion the impact of the pandemic on both health and the economy. The last one is an ongoing challenge. For the ongoing challenge, despite the successes, a challenge persists, such as the emergence of new variants and the need for continued vigilance. The German government remain adaptable, adjusting its strategies in response to evolving nature of the pandemic. So emphasis is placed on the importance of strong healthcare structure and proactive vaccines, and it's in navigating the challenge of the pandemic. So what I can say is overall, Germany response to pandemic is characterized by a comprehensive and flexible strategy that prioritize public health, vaccination, and economic support. So the government dedication to balancing health and economic concerns serve as a notable example in pandemic management.
Now I will be explaining in further about Germany's government action during the war. After the Palestine-Israel war, Germany's government has faced many challenges. So they have taken three major action to overcome the negative impact from the war. which are diplomatic engagement, humanitarian assistance, and cultural exchange initiatives. First of all, Germany developed their diplomatic engagement by actively participating in international forums and diplomatic initiatives to encourage dialogue and negotiation between the conflict parties. Germany also leveraged its position as a key player in the European Union to advocate for a peaceful and sustainable resolution for the conflict. Additionally, the government of Germany provides humanitarian assistance for those civilians that affected by the conflict by addressing the immediate need of vulnerable populations. Furthermore, the government of Germany took action in cultural exchange and educational programs to promote a mutual understanding and reconciliation between Israel and Palestine community by fostering a dialogue and cooperation at the grassroots level. In a nutshell, the Germans government's action to address Palestine and Israel conflict reflect the commitment to promoting peace, sustainability, stability, and human rights in the region. As the conflict presents, Germany remains steadfast in its commitment to support dialogue, fostering understanding, and advocating for just a sustainable resolution that upholds the principles of international law and respect the rights and dignity of all parties involved.
Okay, so for the conclusion, Germany economy has faced a big problem during the both war and the pandemic. So trade, demand, and production have all been messed up, causing slow growth and a struggling GDP. So prices have gone up because of supply chain issue and change in how people spend their money, and more people are out of the work because things are so uncertain. Okay, so to deal with this problem, Germany can try a few things. They can give target help to business and people who are hurting, which could get things moving again. Investing in new technology and idea can make the economy stronger in the long run by helping Germany keep up with change in the world, making it easier for people to switch jobs and finding way to keep good flowing. Smoothie can also help. Plus, working with other countries to solve big problems together can make Germany more resilient to future shock. Okay, so in conclusion, by taking action like giving target help, investing in new ideas, make it easier to switch job and working with other countries, Germany can bounce back from through time and build their better future. So that's all from me, and thank you.